What's up, everybody? I'm here with Angie on this episode of Get Your Brain Food. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm
excited.
No complaints. Yeah, thanks for taking your time out of your day to come do this. I know you're busy.
No problem. I was excited when you asked me to do it. I was like, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I watch your videos a lot. So I was honored. I was excited.
Good. I'm glad I got a fan. All right. That's what I like.
One.
So, how did you get started doing online? You're quite the success. You actually talked in the legendary marketer seminar that we were at. That's where
I did. They called me about a week before that, and they said, "Will you come and do the tech stuff?" And I said, "Absolutely." I got started actually. Oh, geez, let's see. My daughter's 7. About 8 years ago, I was asked by my best friend's uncle actually to be a personal assistant. And I had no idea what that was. He was an investor, a speaker. He did a lot of online marketing himself. And I was kind of thrown in. And after going to so many events similar to the legendary one that I spoke at a couple weeks ago, I was like, well, there's this whole world of online business and speaking and all of this that I didn't even know existed. And so while I was working that position, I started digging in and learning about it myself and figuring out the question to me was, well, why are they making more money? Like they just made a ton of money on a webinar, or they just made a ton of money from stage and now they're not selling anything. So people are now going online. And I realized how all the pieces connected together and realized what is possible and that it was possible for me. And I jumped in and, I did get back into the 9-to-5 world, just kind of while I was finding my way, but still learning and realizing the kind of income that could be made online, and just ran with it.
Oh, that's awesome. So what were you doing? What were you doing to get when you went online? I was watching, if you're on my timeline, you can see I recorded I recorded live on your talk when you were up on Legendary. And
yeah.
So you started with waitressing right downtown, in Florida, and then you went to your 9-to-5 that you were just saying, that cubicle.
Right. And I did. I started waitressing. I was waitressing for about 14 years and I loved it. I love the social aspect of it. And it's funny because even now working online, if anybody is watching this and they're in that kind of doing that now, they're in college or they're just trying to pay the bills and they're like, wow, this is great. Cash every night. A lot of it kind of works the same way. I mean, you have those 4 tables or 6 tables and that's your own little business. And you could upsell them to dessert. You could upsell them to these. And I've kind of carried some of that stuff over in a way that, you've got that attractive character online and you're doing these things, running your business just like I did that. It kind of works the same way. So I did. I realized that waitressing was not a career that I wanted for myself. Some people, that's what they want to do. And, you go to Denny's and you see that, but not something that I wanted to do. And it was taking me out of my home at night and being a new mom with a little one at home. And at the time she was 5 months old, completely by myself, realized I had to figure something out. So I left and I decided I needed a corporate job. I listened to my parents. I listened to my guidance counselors. I listened to what everybody else said. I needed a paycheck. I needed a business card, a name tag, and PTO.
Yep.
Yeah. But it didn't allow me. And that's when I kind of realized, that this chick's goals don't fit in a cubicle, because I had built up something for the company I was working for as a business partnership program. And I realized that even though I had formed partnerships similar to we do online, that we're doing here with all these other businesses connecting with the company I was working for, I was getting no more money. That was it. I was asked to run 2 stores and was given no more money. And I was like, okay, that's when it kind of clicked for me. And I realized, I could feel God saying, okay, now it's your time to leave. And I took some advice that I had learned and just kind of stored in the back of my mind that I kept hearing over and over. And I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump. If he brings you to it, he'll bring you through it. And I made a way. And I haven't gone back since. And that was about 1.5 years ago.
That's awesome. So that's perfect. That brings us to the next question. What's the one thing that you can kind of nail down on that you think that got you from where you were to where you are now, from going from the cubicle to the waitress shop to being able to be a full-time mom, making a life-changing income from your laptop, your phone,
Right.
The one thing that made you, that you think made that transition?
Right. A couple of things, they kind of go hand in hand. The first thing, I actually got some advice from somebody. I heard him speak on stage when I very first got started, and he said, ask somebody if you can work for them for free. And, you know, that doesn't mean quit your job and volunteer for something full-time and hope that eventually you're going to find money. It meant while I was doing what I needed to do, while I was still going to work 9 to 5, I was learning from people who were already doing it, asking them any way that I could help, any way I could learn from them. And I could look at, you know, I was looking to them as a mentor anyway, and figuring out what it is of that you love. Obviously, I was attracted to what they were doing, but what part of that did I love enough that, number one, I was continuously doing it for free. You know, while I was working my 9 to 5, I recently kind of figured out I was working 5 to 9. I was working 5 a.m. till 9 a.m. doing something that I loved for somebody else and for myself, you know, dabbling with the online thing, coming home at 5 and working again from 5 to 9. Obviously not taking out time from my daughter and my family and things like that. But whenever there was time from 5 to 9 every day, that's what I was doing. And sometimes even later. You know, I had it done actually one night a week. I would stay up all night, but it was just because I loved to do it and I wanted to cram as much as I could in, and I compromised my sleep. So the number one thing would be find somebody that you can learn from what they're doing, and do all you can and take all you can. I mean, not unethically, don't take their customers and their clients, but just learn so much. You know, don't make the mistakes on their business, but see what they're doing and see how you can take that into your own business. That was the number one thing I did. And I found a piece of it that I loved so much that I wanted to monetize it.
Ooh, that's nice. So you were,
and I think one of the biggest parts is, while you're putting those two things in practice, my biggest piece of advice would be, don't try to be somebody else. Like, find what you love about it and do your own way. I mean, if somebody's already got a proven way of doing things, don't be like, well, that's great, but I'm going to go way over here and start it over myself, or else the learning is totally negated, you know? But I've noticed when you're looking at that blank cursor, or you're not knowing what to post online, or you're not knowing what to create, it's kind of like you're trying to be what you see everybody else being. You know, you're trying to create not the end, because everybody's always evolving and business is always growing, but you're trying to create brand new where somebody else is after how many years? You know, we all can look and see Gary Vaynerchuk, for example, where he is now, but Lord, he even says nobody watched him for the past however many years he's been doing stuff. He started somewhere, you know? Yep. And so that's the thing. Like, don't try to build like the end of somebody's business.
I've heard that is, don't reinvent the wheel. When you're coming on to do things, don't reinvent the wheel. There is a way to do it right. And then a lot of people have their headstrong. It's like, oh, okay, that's working for them, but my way is going to be better. And you haven't actually put any time or effort into it. And then you're going to go the wrong way.
Do the work.
Do the work. Do work, baby. Work. So what, for someone watching right now that they're on here because they want to learn how to live this lifestyle, live the way you are, what's one thing that they can do practical from today to get them started in the right direction?
Oh, that's a good one. What's something they can do?
They can do start today in order to give them that snowball effect.
You keep putting on a list, or what you say I'm going to do tomorrow, or I'm going to do next week.
Say that again. I lost you.
Do now what you think, oh, I'm going to do tomorrow, or I'm going to do when the time is perfect, or I'll send that email when I've got my signature figured out, or I'll do this when my logo is right. Just freaking do it. I mean, to put it blatantly, you know, like to put it out there, like that's the advice I would give. Because I feel like a lot of us, and myself included, still with stuff, will hold our own selves back. Do it. Reach out to that person that you think you could collaborate with and offer some, you know, your assistant, you know, offer that partnership. Start, just put it out there. You're not going to know if something works or something catches until you do it. Get on the Facebook Live. Don't worry about it. Really just, I mean, practical to do today. I want to give somebody something actionable they can go on there and do. Whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, look around. See if somebody else is doing it. I mean, clearly one company doesn't make candles and everyone else says, oh, we can't make them. You know, I mean, you've got your own. It sounds silly, but just put it out there. Just put it out there. People can't shop at a closed store. People can't do business with somebody who doesn't have anything to transact. So put it out there. Put it out there. Get that post out there. Just let people know what it is you want to do. And if you think your idea is stupid or it's something nobody's going to be interested in, go to Walmart and somebody invented a pool noodle.
Oh,
okay. Like, we pay for a chunk of foam. I mean, it sounds silly, but come on. And we all buy them. How many of them? I mean, if you look at this stuff in your cart when you go to Target, you really need half that? You think your idea is dumb? Look at the crap that people buy. Like, your idea is not dumb. It's all up here of what's holding you back, you know? So the practical piece to do today is just put it out there and don't stop.
Yeah.
Just keep it going. The consistency. And take it one step at a time. Don't try to do every aspect of social media, and don't try to do every landing page and every website. Put something out there and get really gosh darn good at it and very, very consistent. And use your same message and exactly what it is. Concentrate on that one thing and just put that everywhere. So when people say, I'm getting into working online. What comes to mind is legendary marketer, because it's everywhere. Be the Starbucks. I guess what I'm saying. Like, I need a coffee. That's what comes to people's minds.
Yep.
Be everywhere and be consistent, and it'll start to catch on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Being consistent. So how long have you been in the online game as of now?
As of now, consistently sharing the same thing, a solid, I'd say 2.5 years.
Okay. Truly
doing my own, I left the corporate thing a year and a half ago. It was December. So consistently, like, this is what I do. People knew what to come to me for, that kind of thing. A solid 2.5 years that I have had that established online. Other than that, before that, it was, dabbling, and I do stuff for friends or do stuff for other motivational speakers and authors and online people. But as me as a person finally saying, I'm done doing it for everybody else, even though I still do for some, myself putting it out there and doing services for people about 2.5 years.
All right. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give everybody a time frame too, because when they come on, it's a lot of other people always they hear you'll make money today, you'll make money tomorrow, that sort of thing. But I want to put it in perspective for people that when they come on, like, you're developing skills as a person. It takes time to develop skills as a person. Like, no pro athlete was born a pro athlete. They put in thousands of hours of repetition, exercises to be able to get there. And developing skills as a person takes time. It's like building a garden. So, once you get there, you get to harvest everything that you've planted from today on. So,
right. Absolutely. There's no, like you said, harvest. There's no, the time to plant the tree. What do they say? The time to plant the tree is now.
There's the two best times to plant a tree. The best time was yesterday.
Right.
And the second best time is today.
Right. And I think if people think like, oh God, 2 years, like, well, I'm in debt now. I need to make money to now. There's little stuff you can do. Offer something that you can do for $100. You know what? It's $100 more that you had. Yes. Don't figures, like, start bringing in those small things, and it adds up, and you'll see the traction. People start telling people. And if you think that's a long time, one thing that I tell people is go up on your Facebook, look at that Facebook time hop, and you're going to see a picture and you're going to be like, that was 2 years ago. It felt like it was 3 weeks ago. The time flies. And if you have kids, good Lord, just go to Dillard's and look at, like, you were just buying that size not that long ago. It flies.
That's good Lord.
It goes quick. It goes quick. And they'll put it in perspective for you, And I guess think about things that way too. I guess I could offer, as my reason for doing what I do was to be a stay-at-home single mom. I wasn't going to have somebody else's stupid decisions dictate the fact that I was going to have to get up and go into rush hour traffic every day. Kind of build your business. Don't let stuff hold you back. Think about it as in a kid in the back seat trying to open that Happy Meal toy, even though you're driving down the interstate. Like, they don't care that you're driving. they're determined to open that toy. And as you work on your business, don't care that mom's driving. You need to open that toy. You need to do that thing for your business and not stop yourself. Because as adults, we come up with all these excuses, but the kids are just determined. Like, what do you mean you can't do it? You know, that's not a good enough excuse.
Right.
You know, I know. I totaled a car that way. Okay. I know. But it's true. I mean, just think of it as a 6-year-old would.
Yep.
You know, I mean, just be forever curious and forever learning and applying every single thing you're learning, and don't let stupid stuff that we all let hold ourselves back. You know, I don't know how many times people will call me for something like, oh, but I don't know how to share something on Facebook. Okay. Well, guess what? Walt Disney didn't have Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it is what it is. It makes it easier, but don't let little stuff hold yourself back. Just do it.
That's awesome. Hey, well, I appreciate you coming on. And this is your brain food today from the Technically Smart Blonde. Angie, thank you so much.
No problem.
If you guys have any question, any concerns, Angie and I are willing to help as long as you're willing to put in work. Granted, you got to be willing to put in work, but reach out to one of us, whoever you feel more comfortable with, whoever you want to get a hold of, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to matter, because you're only going to learn from people that you want to learn from. So we can't make you reach out to any one of us, but we're willing to work with you as long as you're willing to put in work. But
absolutely.
Angie, thank you so much. And
no problem.
See you soon.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.